So, I finally got around to sticking this together, the outline of the sword onto the maple wood that I'll be making it out of, maple and walnut for the handle. This particular design I will be, this particular sword I'll be making is one from The Faithful and the Fallen by Gwynne. It'll be Corban, one of the main character, his sword, and made it in the first book, Malice, and I've reread it over and over again to make sure I get as much of the proportions right as possible. But thankfully, he was relatively loose with that. I think from what I remember, the only measurements he gave was that it was a hand and a half sword, a sort of bastard sword. So I effectively, looked up the measurements for that and stylized it to that. Now I've made it slightly longer in the tang from what I had originally designed it to be, just in case I end up getting the dimensions wrong for the handle. But yeah, so once the glue has settled and dried, I will be cutting the end off here and start chiseling and start shaping it out and thinning it out once that's done. And I have jokingly been calling the sword Stormageddon because the pommel of Corban's sword is a woven, essentially a direwolf type creature. If you think of George Martin with saber-toothed teeth. So that's my rough design for the pommel of the sword that I haven't properly fixed down yet. It'll be one of the last things I do. But I've been calling it Stormageddon as a joke because Corban has a woven companion called Storm that inspired the pommel in the book. And I didn't realise how fitting a name Stormageddon was until I looked up the etymology of Stormageddon, and it roughly translates to born within a great storm, if I'm remembering correctly. And Storm was named because when he first brought her back to her house, to their house, his family's house, when Corban brought her back to the house, there was a great storm outside. So Storm was named Storm within a great storm. So she was born within a great storm, if you think naming as being part of their birth, right, as it were. So Stormageddon is somewhat in a rather fitting way, a rather fitting name for the sword, though that's not up for me to decide. It's just a rather amusing factoid I jokingly stumbled upon just because the pommel was designed for the woven Storm. So it was just a joke in that retrospect, really.